Budget air supply.
It's cheap, cheap.
Mighty cheap. Budget air supply.
It's cheap.
Mighty cheap.
Wake up, it's your line.
Here for the people.
No, not that line.
Make America cheap
No,
again.
not that either.
Oh, I know. It's gonna be huge.
Come on, cheap, I need you.
Dooba dooba doo,
Budget
yeah.
air supply.
It's cheap, cheap.
Mighty cheap. Budget air supply.
It's cheap.
Mighty cheap.
Budget air supply.
Budget air supply.
4x4 square can guide a lot, and so we'll be able to help offer opportunities, especially once we get the vet center. They know each other, but they didn't grow up together. Maki actually spent over a year elsewhere before eventually being reunited with his sister. This is where we usually talk a little bit about those anatomy and physiology pieces that make it so interesting. So when you think about the natural history of any of these cats, there are a series of adaptations that make them tigers versus lions versus not. And so the first adaptation that usually jumps out at people are their eyes. They are cats, but they don't have slitted eyes. They have round eyes. And those round eyes actually do have cones that are built into it. Cones are what allow color vision. So we've been able to establish that histologically. So they do see in color. And there is a special band of nerves that goes around their eye that allows them to have fantastic peripheral vision as well. When you look inside their mouth, of course, everyone knows about the impressive teeth that a tiger has, but you're only seeing half the story. That tooth, which you see that's about that much out, actually goes up into the skull in almost equal amount. So you're looking at a 4 to 5 inch long canine tooth, deeply rooted into the skull, which allows almost 1,000 pounds of pressure per square inch in a bite. As you can see from some of their toys, or even some of their stronger toys like the bowling ball that's way in the back, they can absolutely cause a tremendous amount of damage to objects that we usually think of as impervious. So when we start looking at tiger language, it can literally be where you see their face and it's eye blink, ear flick, whisker twitch, okay, you're thirsty. And over the course of time, that's where we start to establish those kinds of understandings. Be good to each other. There you go. They're going to perform various behaviors of their own determination when the guide goes around. So people are required to book online prior to coming out. That can be done on our website. There's a prominent Book Now button that's in the upper right-hand corner at cflar.org. And you can choose the type of encounter you want to have of the various big cat encounters. That can include everything from a standard walking guided tour to the very intensive and adventurous Keeper for a Day that allows you to be in the back pocket of one of us as we go through and actually take care of the cats. The facility is built in 3 different segments, actually. We have those cats that like people. Those are the ones that are on the tour loop now. We have some intermediate cats that don't mind seeing people, but, they kind of are fine with being at a distance. And then we have cats that are in the luxury suites. They're in the back with enough space so that they don't have to see people or engage people if they don't want to. Well, if it isn't Colaquisia.
Very large lioness. Hey, Cola. Hey, honey.
Now, I'm only going to give you a small snack
Hey, Cola.
because I know that you're going to want more.
Treat.
There you go.
Hey, Cola.
Yes, you're a good girl. So, Cola is the first of the lionesses that you'll meet. And she's getting up there in age. She's now 16 years old and has been kind of an ambassador cat. She has really lived with a lot of different cats. She's lived with lions. She's lived with tigers. Lions are built physically differently, and then also they are socially differently than the tigers. Not the least of which is the fact that they do form these pridal units. They do that readily with each other. They do it with us. And they do basically allow for people to become part of their world. We've been very fortunate that Cola has chosen a couple of us that she doesn't mind hanging out with and having behaviors for. But she's a quirky girl. I'm noticing that it looks like she's already managed to put some of her things back in her den. She likes to hide all of her toys in the den.
You have your safe areas booked, so you obviously, because otherwise, how would you function?
It's
Right.
to protect both
those caring for the animal and animal itself.
Exactly. And, you know, we are able to do this entirely with volunteers because we're able to sit. I'm sorry I just fooled you. I picked up the tongs.
Oh, we heard the noise.
Oh. Quincy and I have had some interesting journeys. And, you know, I'm just glad that she made it here. I really am. But she's got a fantastic view. She can hear all the cats so that when it comes time to start sounding in the evening or otherwise, she will be one of the ones that joins in, and she's got that young voice. Gypsy girl, come on over.
But she's going to be 18.
Yep. You want a nummy? Yeah,
You can see her,
Don't mind
you
if I
can
do.
see her
What a
spotting.
good girl. So Gypsy is an interesting story. She started life in the pet industry. She was actually intended to be a pet, and spent most of the first part of her life inside, which is what happened when she got outside. She had these terrible allergic reactions. Lost a lot of the fur from her face and from other places. And so we've been treating her for most of her life to try and make sure that she doesn't have any sequela. But it was not before she ended up having some scarring from the event. And you know, it's under control now, but she has allowed us enough proximity that we can do examinations without actually having to knock her down, which is really important. We don't want to expose them to anesthesia if we don't have to.